Back, man.
We are back.
Feels good to be back.
Yo, I got like 7 more gray hairs since the last time we was on. I don't know how.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, it happens, man. Listen, so I used to think when folks would be like, yo, unk, and all these other like words of affirmation and love that people say to you when you get older, I used to take offense to that kind of stuff. But now I embrace it, bro. Do you know how important it is to have unks in your community? People
That's
that
right.
can speak as griots in terms of the historical pretext that one adds to conversations, bro. That's important. And so I'm embracing it. I'm unk status now, and I'm with it.
No, I'm with you too. That and the other thing for me too, when I was younger, I used to be bad. You know, I've always been big my whole life. Everyone's like, yo, big man, big man. When I was younger, I'd be like, yo, now I'm like, yeah, I'm big man. Call me big.
Yeah.
I've embraced it.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, yo. Yeah.
I've embraced it. Yeah, I'm big man, damn it.
It's been a couple weeks or whatever, but we're committed to being consistent. And so, I gotta start us off with, man, what happened to the Mets? What happened to the Mets, bro?
Yo, this is what it's like to be a Met fan. This is one of those things like you like, this is what it is, right? Like you can't ignore them, right? So like they start playing well and you're like, yeah, you get excited, and then they start to fall off and you're like, never mind. And they start playing well again, you're like, oh, you got my attention again. And really it's just because they want to abuse you. It's an abusive relationship. I'm gonna be honest.
It's an abusive relationship, bro.
It's exactly
an abusive long distance relationship, because if you're going all the way to City Field, that shit is far, bro. You gotta take the
I tell my wife all the time, you know how I will always be faithful to you? She's like, how? I was like, I'm still a Mets fan. Let me tell you, son, that I stick. I stick. There's no.
I never even thought of it that way, but yo, you're right. It's like between the Mets and the Knicks, it's like, yo, I'm still a Knicks fan. Like,
I stick. And my Bills, they're over here losing games they shouldn't be losing. I stick with the pain.
Bro, so we've been talking about that a lot in the Ankrum household, that the only New York team is the actual Bills. The only NFL New York football team is the Bills.
The only geographically New York team is the Bills, yeah.
It worries me because, one, we need those other two teams. I'm okay with them being other places.
This come from the Saints fan.
Actually, Jersey fits them very well because I hate New Jersey. So the New Jersey Giants and the New Jersey Jets, y'all can keep them. So
I'm just not trying to travel over there to see a game. It's not worth it. They in the middle of. It's like so hard to get there.
Yeah, understood. All right. So next topic. Bad Bunny, bro. Bad Bunny.
Bunny Benito.
I'm giving you the scream, bro. So, listen, I need you to talk to me about why this is so important for everybody to understand, man. Bad Bunny.
For me, I am super proud. I really appreciate Bad Bunny's sort of meteoric rise, particularly in the last 9 months. He's always been a global sensation. He's always been great. For me, as an unk, like I never was always into that trap music. So like I would listen to it, but it wasn't my thing. But his last album, I think, sort of landed and sort of talked more about the roots, talked more about sort of our combined history in Puerto Rico, and was really an ode to the island, to his heritage, to this history. And so like he won me over. I was like, this is it. This is my man right now. And so he's bringing this energy of being proud of who you are in your skin, being proud and speaking truth to power about what it means to sort of come from an island that is still one of the last remaining colonies, right, in the world. And so that is just a powerful message. And he is having fun. He don't care. Like, I love that he just doesn't care that people are mad. He's just like, y'all have 4 months to learn Spanish. Get with it. And what he's not telling you is that Puerto Rican Spanish is different than what you learned in school, homie. So,
I saw a meme. Matter of fact, it wasn't even a meme. It was a thread. And on this thread, it was like you mean to tell me DL Hewley. Shout out DL Hewley. Right?
Yeah.
he was like, so you complaining about not understanding Bad Bunny, but I don't understand RFK. And I was like, that makes sense.
Yo, you tell any one of them super emo bands like Nirvana and Pearl Jam from the 90s, I don't understand a damn word those people say, but it's the vibe, right? Like the whole point is that it's a vibe, and you can get down for the vibe. You can appreciate the music for the music. And I'm excited. Yo, shout out to Roger Goodell, because like I didn't think he would. Like I thought that he would bow down to the pressure. And
no, you can't, bro. No, you can't put this on Roger. You can't give Roger Goodell the credit.
No. I'm giving him credit for not bowing down.
When y'all come for Jay, right? Like Jay.
No, you're right.
Jay got to get the credit for this.
No, Jay gets the credit for the pick and for being strong about it. And I'm quite certain that he sent some messages to Goodell to be like, yo, if you do this, Rock Nation's out, right? This is like you cannot do this. But also, there are a lot of people acquiescing in the world today, and the NFL didn't acquiesce, right? And so I'm also going to give them props for not acquiescing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because, well, yes, on the executive level, definitely.
Yeah.
But the players, man, the players capitulate all the time, bro. And
all the time.
It's sad to see, right? Like it's really sad to see that they don't really understand what collective power is, right? So like if they ever understood what collective power was, they could shut that league down, especially with the amount and the percent of players that identify as Black. You got over 60% of the league that identify as Black, and that number may be low, but I'd rather say a lower number than a higher number, right? And with over 60% of the league, at any point, if they came together as a collective and they were like, you know what? If things don't change in this country, then America's pastime is not going to happen the way that it normally happens. Then the league will shut down. We saw it in the NBA. We saw it happen.
No, it happens all the time. I mean, all you need to know is that the most dangerous sport doesn't have guaranteed contracts. Like that's wild to me, right? Like baseball has guaranteed contracts.
Oh, so speaking of baseball, speaking of Bad Bunny, and speaking of your people, bro, if Latino baseball players understood that they had collective power, then things could change in this country. Imagine right now if
power and wealth.
Yeah, but if all of the Latino players were like, you know what? I don't give a shit about this World Series. I'm not doing that until ICE gets under control, until we can figure this out to get a pathway to citizenship. You think we wouldn't have a pathway to citizenship, or at least a conversation?
You know, we have a conversation. Here's the problem, right? And I feel like once you get a little money, you start seeing the world a little differently, and it becomes me, and my pockets, and not us.
1,000%. And you know when it becomes us again, when you can't follow the ball and you can't hit the.
That's right.
You can't hit the ball anymore. When that fastball is no longer 103, but it's 85. Everything is a changeup now.
Yeah, when you can't keep up with that wide receiver, it suddenly it becomes a Wii sport. Where is my backup protection?
Like, where is the free safety? Where is the strong safety? Where is everybody? Like, where is the damn help? So, I get it 1,000%. So
no, but I mean, I think what I've appreciated is I especially appreciate. I'm gonna shout out to Black Twitter and Black Instagram, because nobody has supported Bad Bunny more. Folks being like, yo, I never heard a Bad Bunny album. I've never listened. I've never seen it. I've never been, but I'm all about it. I'm listening to it now. You got, I don't know if you see Method Man working out to the album. Like I am all for it. So shout out to my brothers out there, because y'all are doing the work. I appreciate it.
And that's what happens, bro. That is what happens when we see a global movement that we can all get behind. Because one, bro, he doesn't approach this situation as anti-Black, right? Like he embraces his Black roots, which makes it easier for us to get behind, because it's like, all right, here we have a Puerto Rican person that embraces the fact that Africa is in his veins. So how can you not get behind that?
No, I mean he's coming out with like pleneros, bomba and pleneros, and that is traditional Puerto Rican music, but it comes from Africa, right? These are the beats of Western Africa, right? And so like it is all one vibe, right? The instruments they're using, the foundational beats, the foundational movements, and so he embraces all parts of what it is to be Boricua, and that's what I deeply appreciate.
Yeah, love that, bro. All right, moving on. We gotta talk about NBA gambling, bro. We gotta talk about NBA gambling. And so you have this working hypothesis that you think LeBron snitched.
I think he's snitching. I think somebody's there are too many people connected to LeBron caught up in this, but LeBron not to be caught up in it. No. And so it's like he is obvious by his omission. And so my point of view is the only way you don't get named is if you name names, right? And so it is a working hypothesis that I have.
Hey, we've seen it happen. Yo, and I don't want to demean LeBron's name and like and make it seem like I have this relationship with snitching that is very uncomfortable for me because of where I come from. But based off of what I know now and the values that I now have, knowing that like the preservation of life is important for me, it is important for us to kind of decode what snitching really is. Right?
That's right.
So, for example, if I'm in the car and you're in the car and you have something illegal or something that you're not supposed to have, the car gets pulled over.
Yeah.
We both get arrested for the thing that you had. I'm gonna give you a couple hours to own the fact that is yours.
I was like calling you Ray 6'9" in a minute. Keep going.
I had nothing to do with that, right? After a couple of hours, if you don't accept or embrace the fact that was
the responsibility,
then bro, I gotta do what I gotta do.
You ain't going to jail for my stuff, is what you're telling me.
Not at all. So
yeah, my son, my youngest son, always complains about my older one about how they always snitching, right? Like, and so the oldest response is like, he's like, I prefer the term whistleblower over snitch.
Oh, yes. I'm a street level whistleblower. Yes. Street level whistleblower.
You're a whistleblower?
Yeah, I like that. That's a coin phrase. Right. Next time I write something for publish, I'm gonna make sure I slip it in there. So it's embedded in the research that
Yeah. I mean, look, it is. Everyone knows that folks involved in sports gamble, right? Like the fact that people are surprised by all of this.
Yeah.
Right.
They can't be surprised. Like,
bro, you can't be surprised by this.
ESPN has a platform where you can bet, right? Fox has a platform where everybody has a platform where you can bet. Everybody's betting.
Yeah.
It's time we have like some difficult conversations about what that looks like. Right?
Yeah. No, that's right. Listen, I mean, not for nothing. And now it makes me wonder. I watched Cat miss a lot of shots in the playoffs. Like, what's Cat doing over there? I mean,
so somebody put together like a highlight reel of like Terry Rozier.
Yeah.
Bro, and so I'm looking at this. I'm like, damn, how could he miss that bad and like be in the league?
some of the passes he's passing to absolutely nobody.
This is obvious. He's taking the game. Like, what is going on? And so then I'm going back to like some of my bets, and I'm like, damn, how did I not pick this up?
Because you haven't some strung together, right? That's what they plan on. Well, that's the wild thing here, right? Is like they are not claiming that these players bet on games. They are claiming that they were involved in illegal poker games at someone's private house.
Yeah.
Right? And so half of New Jersey just locked their doors, right?
Somebody in the mafia, no?
Yeah, some like mafia ties. They had a table that they could see.
A 3D table or something?
They can see. Yeah, they had a table where you can see each other's cards. It's crazy.
What is crazy? That's some next level cheating right there.
That is next level cheat, but not yet. They have not said anyone is particularly betting on like games, right? It's not like Pete Rose in baseball, right? He was betting against his team, right? And like, or for against him, you can't play that game. Like they are just betting on the side. And I'm a go on record and saying if two grown people want to bet money playing poker, like stay out of it. And if you know what I mean.
I mean, I guess, man. I guess. You know how many charitable foundations that need that type of money. You know how many like nonprofits could benefit from those types of monies, bro. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I want these people that have plateaued themselves to a point to where they can be considered as rich and wealthy or whatever.
Yeah.
Think about the people that are not wealthy and to give back more. I would like to see that. But I can't tell anybody what money, but
that's undoubted. But like, I'm sure, like, I did not. I mean, the highest level of sports I ever played was junior high baseball, right? And then like beer league softball. Yeah. But you play sports in college, right? Yeah. I got to imagine that when you are that competitive and you're not on the field or on the track or whatever you're doing, that competitiveness needs to come out someplace, right? And so like betting is a place where you get that endorphin high too. And so like it doesn't surprise me that these folks are betting because I feel like it's an extension of that high you get from competing against other people.
Yeah. Yeah, they need a good book can give you the same.
I want them to compete giving nonprofits money. Who can give nonprofits the most money?
And you see some people are like doing really Mackenzie, she's doing really well, which is like
she's doing really well.
Bro, she's gave Morgan State over $50 million, which is amazing because when I was on Morgan's campus in 2003 to 2005, it really looked like an under-resourced HBCU. Yeah. It made things happen the way that they were supposed to happen or whatever. But, to see that campus now in 2025, based off of the amount of investments that have gone into it, right? Because it's been historically under-resourced. That college should have been getting the same funding as the University of Maryland. And now that it is getting the same types of funding as the University of Maryland, you're seeing what HBCU can do. It's amazing, bro. Because like in a couple of years, it's gonna be an R1. It'll be the second HBCU that's an R1, but it's definitely on track.
All it needed was the resources, right, to give it a kickstart, and that's critical stuff. And then we got organizations. I don't know if you saw, but I was reading the other day that Harvard just published their sort of fiscal year 25, and they posted $116 million deficit for the year.
A lot of colleges, bro. A lot of colleges are operating at a deficit right now,
and I felt bad for 10 seconds, and then the next sentence was off of an $86 billion asset, and I was just like, "Oh, they're fine."
they're fine, but a lot of colleges,
they're fine. Yeah,
a lot of colleges aren't. Like a lot of there's some hard conversations that are happening at the university. Yeah. Like, all right, we don't want to cut the human resource portion of
That's right.
Cut the humans out of it. So what kind of things are we going to do in terms of like making this work? And that's what like undergrad classes. So like if you have a class that has 3, I think you gotta have at least 5 in most colleges and universities to run that class. And so then that 3 becomes an independent study, and it's like it's an unpaid independent study. So it's gonna take some dedicated folks to take on that load in order to make colleges and universities work for people so that they graduate, right? Yeah,
and then that you get the problem with the professors, because then you have to find a professor who's willing to take the prorated rate of 3 students versus right.
And some of it goes unpaid.
Yep.
Not even the prorated rate. It's like I'm asking you to do me the solid, and then in the future, maybe there's some things
we'll give you an intro course in the future, so you have a lot of people.
Right. Right. Yeah. We'll make up for it on the back end. So I'm seeing it.
I'm seeing it too. But like to jump back on the betting stuff, what I was surprised about was how quickly they were just naming names, right? Like they were like Chauncey Billups and right, and they were like Gilbert, like they was out there naming names fast in this process.
But Gilbert said he was gonna snitch. Right? He was like, yo, he was like, I'm telling. I respect that man, right? I respect, hey, listen,
he's a whistleblower. He's a whistleblower.
Yeah, anybody that tells me beforehand that I'm a whistleblower, I gotta believe it. I gotta take them for their word. Like there's nothing, I gotta take you for your word, bro. Oh,
but Portland's gonna have to figure out what they're gonna do, right? Because this is gonna be a cloud hanging over the team.
Bro, the cloud hanging over the team is the team. They're awful. Are you kidding me? That's just an excuse to be more awful. Like they're awful.
Yes, and
yeah. Did you see Cooper Kupp's first game? No, not Cooper. Cooper Flag. My bad. Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
Were you impressed?
No.
Bro, he looked like Arch Manning.
He looked like Arch Manning.
Everything's big in Texas, and that was a big disappointment to me.
It's big. This is big disappointment.
And then, but you see the kid VJ for the Sixers. Ooh,
kid's got game. That kid's got game.
And then Aaron Gordon had the game of his life last night. He went 11 for 12 from 3 and put up a 50 burger.
Listen, I want to be honest with you. Watching the Knicks take that lead and keep that lead of 10 throughout the game was impressive. I'm not going to lie. Right. There were a couple times I got nervous when they cut it to like 6 in the last 90 seconds. I was like, here we go again.
Oh, no. Bro, better coach, right? And then if you look at the bench action, right? Like even with the bench action, it's like, you're seeing more of the bench. And that's how you get better as a player. You get better as a player, not from practice, but actual real game time situations. And so Coach Brown
in minutes.
Yeah, giving them minutes. I love that.
Yeah. Because I know we're not talking about practice. Not practice.
Not practice. Nah. Not at all. So, all right, so we got to talk about SNAP benefits, man. So, 42 million people are the benefactors of SNAP.
And can we? Let's do it this way. Can we say 42 million people rely on the government to help them eat? Because I feel like when we call it SNAP, it becomes this amorphous program. This is like basic nutrition.
Yeah,
42 million people rely on help to get basic nutrition.
That's a good push right there. And so, you would think that with 42 million people needing this, that you would get government officials that would get off their ass and do the things that they need to do in order to fund the government. But here's the thing. When most people, and I put up a poll on Threads, when most people think about SNAP benefits, they don't know who the largest benefactors are. So when you think SNAP, you think food stamps, you immediately equate welfare to Black people and to Latino people, not understanding that the truest benefactor or the largest benefactor of those types of benefits are white people.
Yeah. And not a insignificant number of families whose spouses are in the military, right? There is quite a number of our military whose families rely on SNAP when paychecks get delayed, this is not, this is we are still hungover from, I think, the 80s where public assistance was deemed as this like Black and brown problem, right? The welfare queens, right? That they always complained about. No, these are humans, these are families, these are kids, right? That's what bugs me out. Like, these are human beings, and we're talking about not giving people the food they need to eat to live.
And then we're talking about babies, right? Because babies depend on that and WIC and all the things to have healthy babies. And so, we're doing this whole thing about like lives, and I don't want to get too much into the weeds of that. But when people are born, you got to do the necessary things in order to make sure that they're good. And one of those things is funding the government so that they can get their WIC program and they can get their SNAP benefits, bro. We fell on dark times.
And it's that my oldest was learning about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Mm-hmm. And This idea of like, you can't learn, you can't work if you hungry. You can't think if you hungry, right? Like, this is just basic stuff,
Yeah.
right? You want a
Basic
productive
stuff that a lot of
society?
schools- basic stuff that a lot of schools don't think about, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of that. Yeah, that's the first. If a kid is acting unruly in class, acting like they don't want to participate, they don't want to learn or whatever, the first thing that I'm asking is, what did you eat? Like,
Yeah.
that's the first question, because if the basic needs haven't been met, to your point, that kid is going to act out and that kid is not going to learn, right? And so now,
And how productive can a staff person be if they're hungry?
Absolutely, right? So like every opportunity that we have to provide staff with food or do the things, like, because we don't know what's happening after work, we don't know what's happening in people's houses, and that's not just students' houses, that's faculty too. Like, we don't know what's happening in their houses or whatever. Like, we don't know, and so based off of not knowing, I think the best thing that we can do is to provide them with an opportunity. Like, the food pantry belongs to everybody. And so if you're here and you are a staff member and you don't have it or whatever, you can go to that food pantry.
Take it. Yeah. Like, that's like, this is the game, right? We don't want nobody, like, when people at work, I want them focused on work, right? And the way they focus on work is that they don't have to focus on those other things. I want you to be fed. I want you to be focused. If you're a student,
you do that fancy yoga at your job?
No, we don't do no. We got fancy yoga. I don't do no fancy yoga. I do turn off my camera and be like, is that yoga? Because that's the yoga that I do.
Yo, because if you do that, I'm coming to work for you. I've always wanted to work in one of them corporate spaces where they do everything that they can do to keep you at work. Like, there's a gym.
No.
All that. Yeah.
See, look, this is where I think we went wrong, right? I think we've created a society where people don't want to leave work. I want to leave work. People should want to leave work.
I disagree. Because if I can get everything done at work and then go home with a full belly, I'm good. So
I'm just saying, I want everybody to have a complete life, a work life and a non-work life, and I want you to focus on your work life while you're at work, and I want you to focus on your home life while you're home. I want that balance for everybody.
Balance is important. I don't disagree, but if I can get fed. All right, so last topic, because we got 2 topics, man, and I don't want to breeze through them. All right, so first we'll talk about the verses, and then we get to we got to talk about this verses. So verses. All right, first, get your hot take on the verses.
This is the verses that I at least want to see. This is
so folks listening, there's a versus that's about to happen in Las Vegas between Cash Money Records and No Limit Records. I'm from Louisiana, and so this for me is the pinnacle of my childhood.
It's the Super Bowl right now, me.
and through my college years, because I've been telling people about Cash Money for the 99-2000 since '99, and so the amount of joy that I'm experiencing right now is through the roof. I haven't decided if I want to be in person, but some of the things that I have to question about being in person is, one, will I live through it? And that's a very important.
You're not right.
And think about, right? Because I don't know. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be. I don't think there's going to be a corporate. I don't think there'll be no corporate whistleblowing that'll be happening there.
It's gonna be like the Source Awards in 1990. Is what you're saying?
Yes, similar too. But anyway, the music is going to be vibrational, and the whole setting is going to be like the big vibration. So I big ups to the Swiss Beats and Timbaland for putting this together. I think it's going to be a good thing for hip hop, and plus, I don't have a clear winner. But I'm thinking if Wayne shows up sober.
I like when you qualified that. If Wayne shows up sober.
Yeah. It'll be pretty difficult for Cash Money to beat No Limit to beat Cash Money.
I think that's right. And listen, sobriety is key. I just, as a lifelong New Yorker, I can appreciate the down south hip hop. But I feel like, to me, those are the origins of today's mumble rap that I just can't get down with. So it feels like it's too close for me. You know what I mean? It's like, that's where I feel like we went off the tracks. Not everybody, but we started.
This is a bigger version of the Locks versus Dipset.
Yes, this is the bigger version of
that. Bigger version of that, right? Like this is like You know, they're like independents. This is like major records.
Major.
Yeah. So,
That being said, both of those labels are known for taking care of their people, and so I give them mad respect.
well, sort of. All right, we're not going to that. All right, so closing thoughts. What are your closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts, man. Y'all got 3 more months to get your Spanish ready. It's gonna be real. Listen to the album. It is a vibe. Don't worry about what he's saying. Just listen to the album. It is a vibe. Trust me, Bad Bunny.
Listen, I'm listening to it on my walks. I'm getting Bad Bunny ready, and I love the fact that he did not have any of his tour stops in the United States based off of the actions of this particular administration, and he did not want his people to succumb to the fact that ICE would be at those concerts, right? So he did everything that he needed to do in order to have a successful global tour.
That's right.
A whole hell of a lot of money to Puerto Rico.
$200 million.
Yeah.
Right? Like that is, I love that.
That is an artist that loves his people. If we had more artists that love their people that way, then the world would be a better place. Folks, thanks for coming and kicking with us next Friday, 12:30 p.m. Then
we're gonna search our gram. We gotta find out what G's at.
Yeah. All right, peace.